The Bears are banged up, trade rumors are heating up, and Caleb Williams managed to make headlines again, this time with Troy Aikman. There's a lot going on in Chicago. We need to break it down before the next kickoff. So let's get into it. Welcome to Claws Up, Bear Down, where we dive deep into all things Chicago Bears football. If you believe the Bears are going to beat the New Orleans Saints this weekend, hit the like button. Let's get into the biggest headline of the week, and that is Caleb Williams versus Troy Aikman. Yes, that Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman pissed off a lot of Chicagoland this week, along with the coaching staff and Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams was open about it. He was willing to talk about what was going on. Even on Instagram, he made a comment about it where he quoted Troy Aikman and he said, "That was lucky." That is in reference to when DeAndre Swift scored the touchdown, the 55-yard touchdown, that beautiful, well-played, executed run to the end zone. Troy Aikman said it was lucky, and the Bears didn't deserve to have that be a touchdown. And Caleb seems to be one to actually talk about what's going on with the media and is not afraid of what people say about him. In his press conference, Caleb Williams said he doesn't care what people say about him. I think that it kind of shows he does care a little bit, but he's willing to put out into the universe how he feels about this stuff, which I think is pretty cool. It's a new age quarterback. It's a different type of kid. And he's willing to say how he feels. He's not just hiding behind or allowing guys to talk smack about him as it goes. Now, the story got a little crazy when Caleb Williams said that he actually missed the meeting with Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman has production meetings with quarterbacks every single week before Monday Night Football. And this week, Troy Aikman wasn't able to connect with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was saying that he was in the facility and he wasn't able to talk to him. He tried to reach out and text him, but he didn't get a call back. It's a really weird situation. I don't necessarily think that Troy Aikman has to give Bears fans what they want to hear at all times. I think it's okay for him to be a little bit critical, but on Monday night, it was ridiculous how biased he seemed towards the Washington Commanders. I would go so far as in fact to say the whole production staff was. At no point do they talk about Rome Odunze's touchdown streak or they talk about how great Ben Johnson has been. It was a lot of things about how awesome Jane Daniels is, how awesome Bill is, the running back, and what Washington was doing, but not a lot about what the Bears are doing or the winning streak that they're on, or that they have scored 21 points in a row in every single game when no other team in the NFL has done it. I hope that the Troy Aikman versus Caleb Williams drama is ending here soon as they get into the next game on Sunday versus the New Orleans Saints, but it is a thing and it is being talked about everywhere. Ben Johnson was also a little tongue-in-cheek about the whole circumstance, saying that he heard that people didn't really like how they were playing the game or how that they won.
Where today that you caught a little bit of the TV copy of the second half. Did the tone of coming from the color analyst there surprise you?
Maybe I just had it on mute.
In the game or how that they won. It is what it is, but I think that the announcers can be a little biased to certain teams, and it's clear people don't like Caleb Williams outside the city of Chicago. I love Caleb Williams. I will continue to defend Caleb Williams. He is the Bears quarterback, and as Chicagoland, we have to defend him, and we will defend our guy to the bitter end. Now about this injury report, something feels a little bit off on the Chicago Bears injury report. Chicago Bears released their injury report for Thursday before the New Orleans Saints game, and things seem a little bit off. DJ Moore is kind of a mystery what actually happened to him, why he spent time in Washington overnight. So let's break down what the Bears are giving to us and what we know what's going on behind scenes. So on the injury report, Grady Jarrett still has a knee, did not practice both days this week. Cairo Santos did not practice, right thigh injury still. Noah Sewell, concussion, did not practice both days. It seems like he's going to be out. DeAndre Swift, groin. On Wednesday, it was just a walkthrough, and then today it says he's limited. So he wasn't listed on Wednesday, but on Thursday he was limited. Austin Booker and Travis Homer, who are returning from IR, were both full participants both times this week so far, Wednesday and Thursday. So hopefully they're back on the field. But let's talk about DJ Moore. DJ Moore on Monday night, what was released that he had spent the night in Washington in the hospital for observation. They didn't say what it was. Even on this, it says hip and groin injury. Not very specific on these injury reports. Ben Johnson, when asked about it, said it was personal and that DJ Moore was day-to-day. How is an injury report personal? One can only speculate what that means, but I don't understand the mystery and why they wouldn't actually put out there what's going on. DJ Moore is going to have to answer questions about this, but what's going on? And today he's limited, so that means he actually had pads on and he was moving around the football field. So DJ Moore, after spending Monday night in the hospital and not being able to fly back with the team, could play on Sunday. That'd be a huge lift for the Bears, and I think it'd be something that would be great for the morale of the team if DJ Moore is actually able to strap it up and play on Sunday. Is there actually going to be a Chicago Bears trade at the deadline or sooner? The trade rumors are heating up, and GM Ryan Poles has been one known to make moves here at the trade deadline. He seems always giddy to get someone in the room. This year, it's starting to kind of feel like it's going to be defensive line. After Monday night's performance with DeAndre Swift going off for 165 total yards and a touchdown, I don't believe running back is the move, but defensive line could be. So here are three guys I think that the Chicago Bears could be targeting in a trade. Number one, defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons from Tennessee. Tennessee has been off to a bad season already. They're pretty terrible. They already fired their head coach. They could be looking to unload great players from their team, and Jeffrey Simmons is one of them. He's already disgruntled. He's talked about not wanting to be on losing teams anymore. He is 6'4", 305 pounds, already has 20 combined tackles, 20 this far in the season already. Seems like a beast in the middle. I thought the Bears would be looking for edge rusher, but the more I look at Jeffrey Simmons, that seems like a guy who could really be a benefit to the Chicago Bears if he was put in the middle of the defense. Number two, our familiar friend, Trey Hendrickson. This channel's talked about Trey Hendrickson before in Bears uniform. Think that Trey Hendrickson is a guy that would be really interesting as the sack leader coming to Chicago in a trade. Recently, before the season, he signed a one-year deal with Cincinnati, so he is available to re-sign next year, which should be something the Bears would look to get. He's a little bit older. He's already 30 years old, and he had 16 sacks last year. 16! Stu can get after the quarterback. Be a great addition to the Bears team if the regime believes that they are ready to compete in the playoffs and make a real run at this thing. And number three, the pipe dream. Max with two X's, the Condor, Crosby. This is the dream scenario. The problem is what is it going to cost to get him out of Vegas? A couple first-round draft picks, probably. Similar deal to what happened with Khalil Mack. That is a high cost for a young team in the Chicago Bears. But boy, after watching him play the Bears this season already, it looks like Max Crosby is a guy that I would love to have on the Chicago Bears. He's fast, he's ferocious, he's a go-getter, he has a motor that does not stop, and he creates havoc. What type of psychopath has two X's in his name? Max Crosby. And I want the Condor on the Chicago Bears. Obviously, the cost might be too much to make, but man, just dream about what it could be having Max Crosby on that line. It would be a total game changer for the defense. Bears fans, let me hear what you think. Would you trade for a defensive lineman or would you stay patient? And do you think that Troy Aikman was being too critical of the Bears and Caleb Williams? Drop your thoughts below in the comments. Hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with all things Chicago Bears football here on Claws Up, Bear Down, where we dive deep into Chicago Bears football. Thanks for watching the show.